What's up? It's me. I got here a video of Neil deGrasse Tyson. He talking to this little white dude. I forgot his name. They talking about trans rights, right? And this is what the white man had to say.
The argument that is typically made by gender theorists is that gender is entirely separate from sex. It makes no difference on average if men are stronger than women are, and that if we were to allow transgender women to compete with non-transgender women, then this would somehow not disadvantage biological women. And this seems to me absolutely ascientific, that if we're actually going to have a discussion about gender and sex, that should be based in data, which suggests that mammals are in fact binary in terms of their sex, unless you have intersex birth defects typically, or genetic defects.
Now, even though, Ben Shapiro, his name's down there. Even though Ben Shapiro, he started off talking about sports, you can see that his overall topic was about biology. And scientifically, biology means something. And you can't just change that based off of what you want to do politically, right? That's the basis of his argument. Now, this is what Neil deGrasse Tyson has to say.
Because today we segregate nearly all sports by gender. Otherwise, why do you even give a shit?
Why do you even give a shit? First of all, I'm going to let him finish, but he just broke down the whole argument into the sports thing, even though it's about biology. Why do you even give a shit? The reason being that children are now being taught. Now let me explain it just like this. People with their own belief system, even though it's wrong, have influenced people with power who can influence the rest of the world into believing something is correct, even though it has no basis in science. I said it like that for a reason.
What someone identifies with. So we live in a free country, and with consenting adults and people free expression of who and what they are.
Man, on adult level, I agree with you. I think it does matter what you teach your children.
That's what I'm saying. And so there's the matrix of what you are biologically, how you express yourself, who you choose as a sexual partner. If we actually live in a free country, as we tell ourselves, people's freedom to behave in any of those ways should not concern you at all. Nor are they requiring that you behave that way. Okay? Well, this is for their own freedoms, because we live in a free country. Now,
he went back to sports. Before Ben Shapiro could get a chance to have a rebuttal to the fact that, yes, they are requiring that you change the way that you operate. And yes, they are requiring a change of how children are being educated. He skipped right over that because he don't want to talk about that, because it's his job as a scientist who has been put in front of everybody. It's his job to say exactly what, if we could be real, what the government wants him to say. Because there's a certain population out here who truly believes that if the scientist said it's correct, then it must be correct, right? Now, the crazy part is that he is taking this stance right now that you should leave people alone, and it doesn't matter what beliefs they have, because we live in a free country. He's not going to talk about how you can influence people with your thought who have power to change other people's lives. But then check out this thing I just saw. This is a different video. Let's see how this idea compares to what we just saw with this interview about this one specific topic, right? Let's see how it compares.
Extreme. There were people saying, Neil, you got to do something about B.O.B. Save him from himself. He's saying Earth is flat. Then I first said, who's B.O.B.? So I quickly looked him up. Oh, it's a rap star. Okay. They were pleading to me to do something. And so I responded with a video letter, just kind of putting him in his place. I think it's important to combat people who are claiming that they are using math, science, evidence, and physics behind their cause, when in fact they either aren't or they're using it badly. That needs to be called out.
So, you heard that. So just to make it clear, he had to put B.O.B. in his place because B.O.B. has followers on Twitter, and B.O.B. might influence certain people who then might influence bigger people into believing something, and they might start changing legislation to adhere to flat earth. Let me ask you, what legislation can be changed to adhere to flat earth? Think about that. Think about what the topic is in this video right here, in the last video. There's no legislation that can be passed that would do anything about flat earth, because guess what? You talk to the people who fly the airplanes, and they tell you, listen, we just fly the plane, my nigga. We ain't over here constantly dipping to keep up with the dip in the earth, to keep up with the curve, because to our perspective, even if the earth is a ball, to our perspective, we just still fucking flying. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we see the whole thing and we going, whoop, nigga, we in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that people who fly planes are flying it with a trajectory of constantly doing this, because that don't even make no goddamn sense. They didn't fly up. Come on, I'm not even going to explain that no further. The people who say that they build the railroads, they tell you that they don't account for a dip. All they account for is the terrain of the earth. That's all they account for. So regardless of legislation, you could say the earth is flat if you want. The buildings are still going to be built on the land that is built on. The earth being round doesn't help that building across the street to be built. They built it on that flat surface that it's on. Even if it's a ball, that flat surface is what it was built on. So what legislation could be passed that could be dangerous if people believe that the earth was flat? Now take it to the other situation where he used the same thing. We live in a free country, right? So you can believe what you want. But he's telling me that he doesn't have an opinion when this is a situation where schools are changing what they're teaching. Scientists who are supposed to be the authority in the world of what's correct as far as reality, same people to tell you there's no God, these are the same people that's now either not answering the question because they didn't want to get canceled, or they over here straight up saying the biology that we know is real and that we can physically see, it's not how we see it.
Otherwise, if you just have a belief system, I don't really care. We live in a country that protects free speech, which usually also means free thought. You want to think Earth is flat? Go right ahead. But if you start influencing other people who have power over other people, and you have no foundation in objective reality, it can be dangerous. If you influence people, or you yourself become someone who has influence over legislation, laws, rules by which we all abide in society, that's an unhealthy situation for civilization to be in.
Niggas hit you with that anesthesia, put you to sleep, bruh. You know it's the killer nigga woods where we creep, bruh. You know that my ninja they good, push like a Jeep, bruh. Catching niggas for days, no rest, math the reaper. Muscle memory in my cells, clap like a sleeper. Swim through money, I need a cell, these rivers deeper. My niggas got bonds, no better when shit go heater. Hammers banging, we bleed, your bodies everywhere, FEMA.